Welcome. This is your Google Meet tutorial for Design 320 and Design 330. I'm your professor, Randy Schuster. You see me looking up because I have a giant screen above me and a camera down below me. So here are some of the things that I'm going to ask you to do when you're in a Google Meet. The first one is to turn off your video. We really don't need to see each other. Zoom bombs are accidentally happen. And so I'm going to ask you to turn off your video. You can see it in the lower bar. If yours isn't showing up, you just hover down there for a little bit and bank, and all of a sudden an icon shows up. So that's important for you to do. I'm also going to ask you to mute yourself so that we don't hear your background noise or get feedback from your microphone or anything like that. So I'm going to show you how to do that, and then I'm going to turn mine back on. So mute, and that will keep us from hearing you. Here's a couple of other things. You can raise your hand. That's a cool thing. But I'm usually watching the chat line. So up in the upper right-hand corner, there's something called the chat line. And down here, you can type some things in. And so when I ask a question in class, what you'll do is you'll type something in. So I'll say, hey, tell me who's here right now. And you'll say at and your name. And then you press the little send button. And they all show up here. Or you could even write at Schuster is here. And I am going to be recording these. So please be sure. And, I'm not going to go through and check your spelling and the typos. I make plenty of them myself. But please be sure that when you're writing in the chat, it's all appropriate and civil and things like that. So that's how you use the chat line. It's under chat. And if you want to see who is in here, you go to the people. And there's people. And if you want to pin somebody so that they're the person that you see, you click on the pin. So those are the basic controls. You can change some things, like you can change what your thing looks like and some settings, and your microphone and your video and your speakers. So those are all here under the three little buttons that you'll notice. If you need closed captions, you can turn them on, and you will see that the captions show up. And so that's a really cool thing. If you need captioning, that is the best thing to do. All right. So now I don't do that while I'm recording because I put these on YouTube, and YouTube will caption them as soon as I upload it. So I do not work with these on, but if you need them on to be able to understand what I'm saying, please go ahead and turn them on. It does pretty well, and I try to talk clearly and slowly so that it stays on. Okay, so another thing that you can do is, if I ask you to, you can present your own screen. So I'm going to show you a few ways to do it. I can present an entire screen, and it lets me pick. You can see I've got two screens, and I can pick which one I want to do. And I'm not going to do that right now because I've got my recording running, and it'll make millions of mirrors the way that'll work. Okay, so you can pick your entire screen, but most often what you're going to do is pick a window or a tab. If your browser is open and you want to show one of the tabs that are open, you can do that. So as an example, if I want to show my appointment schedule, which is open somewhere in a Google tab, I can do that. And it's usually best to say share audio so that if there's a video on there, you can share it. And so voila, all of a sudden you'll be able to see it. Now, it's hard to see until you click on the thing that says your presentation. then you'll see it. And sometimes you'll notice it's flicker, 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 and you go click on your tab and you'll find it. And then to stop presenting, you can find the top one, or you can come back down and stop presenting. Another thing that you can present is a window. And that, especially if you have an application running, such as AutoCAD or SketchUp, and you want to show me, that's what you would do. So again, I don't want to show my own Google Meet. I'll show you my OBS it might cause a problem, but let's see. And there it is. You see all the millions of windows that show up behind it because I'm showing something and then showing it. But that's how you show what you're working on. Okay? So that's how you show things to other people, is by presenting, and you present either an entire screen, a window, or a tab. And sometimes you may wish to have these side by side. So what you can do is you can click your little button and just shove it all the way over to the side of your screen and show your other things side by side if you have a big enough screen to show things at once. I've got a 34-inch monitor showing right now. So there you go. That's what you do to run your screen in Google Meet. I ask that you keep your video off. I ask that you keep yourself muted. Now, if you need to say something, break in and say something. That's okay. I ask that you use the chat and type things in there with at your name. So I might say, tell me what other classes you're taking. And I would say at Randy Schuster. And I would say, in my case, I am teaching DESGN 320, 330, and I am supervising the design hub, something like that, and it'll show up. So this is how you actively participate in the class. All right, as always, if you have any questions, I've got an appointment schedule that you can look at, and people always are already filling it up, so that's a great thing. These things that say not available are where I have another meeting already planned, so those will not always be that way. Okay? So there we go. I look forward to working with you. Thanks.